main road. No, not the main road, not the highway. All of them. All of these that you see, every single one. Just across. Which hotel is real? Royalton. Oh. Just across from Royalton. So the front gate right as well? Oh, staff gate. If you don't know Royalton there, the same scheme adjacent to Royalton, everything we say so. At the palace. Buckingham Palace. All of this.
Oh yes. We got business.
Maybe it's there.
Okay, I'm trying to do business. So we don't want to come to knock it down too. Walk on.
What's your name, yeah? What's your name?
Why they never keep the
This is a man I want a long
Marius interview? Marius interview? Talk to him. Tell him everything we have to say. Oh yeah, wait till after this. Wait till after this. I'm up on the mic. Okay. When you done talk, just call him, eh?
The poor people will have to be sacrificed. Mr. Gordy knows it. I'm asking you, Mr. Gordy. I'm asking you. What is that? These people are the Israelites. These people are the Israelites. And they will never be sacrificed. But one tree will touch on these promises before every house is being erected. When I talk, no that back. Watch and see. You know, Mr. Gordon, that that's what I mean all this time. For you to be a leader of your position, you have to sacrifice people. Why is your problem, Mr. Gordon?
you want to ask for that one on the flat.
It's okay, it's okay. Look, do what you're doing. You're hot. You're hot on me a while. Come closer.
Guard, hold it coming. Guard. Guard.
No, it's okay. Almost. Almost. But then you move on.
You can start.
Okay, welcome everybody. I'm visiting Coopers Pen community at the invitation of Mr. Dennis Meadows and the team in North Carolina. We know that this particular piece of land has a long history. And happened here is a calamity, a humanitarian calamity. And the first priority must be to restore the lives of the households who have had their homes destroyed yesterday. The government has brought some tents and provided other very interim forms assistance, and it's a start. But the permanent relocation of those who have been displaced, the consultation with them on lands where they can permanently settle in a decent living condition is critical at this time. The government must consider the matter of lands falls directly under the portfolio of the Prime Minister as Minister of Economic Growth and Infrastructure Development. All of the land agencies the government fall under him. So he's in a position to expedite a solution to this crisis. And I'm calling on him to do so. Identify an appropriate location and make the necessary investments so that the people can be restored. That's the first issue. The second issue is the other households who are in jeopardy because the demolition was not complete yesterday and they have expressed an intention to return to complete it. Now while the Coopers Pen property has sections of it with formal title houses, there are another section which has very well established homes, concrete structures, property built, but are in jeopardy because they don't have title for that. The question is what is going to happen to them? And I am calling the government immediately to begin a process of negotiation on their behalf to try and find a solution. The fact of the matter is that last week did attempt to create a community under the Housing Act for these people. It was gazetted by the Minister of Housing. However, it was contested by the owner and the matter went to court, and in the Court of Appeal the matter ended and the community didn't get any form of protection from the court at that time. So it remains to the government to find a solution for them, and I'm calling on them to do so. And time is of the essence because, as we've seen, the methods being used by this particular whoever's behind this arrangement are extreme. There's an allegation that the police were deployed in the wee hours of the morning. The young men were arrested and detained in jail in Palma until the afternoon, and during that period when they were away from the community, the demolition, supported by and protected by the security forces, took place. And as we know, elderly people have lost their homes, baby mothers, children not going to school, etc., are all now in a very vulnerable condition. So the third point I want to make is a policy issue, and it relates to how private rights, as protected by the court, are enforced against vulnerable communities. There needs to be a mechanism to ensure that this sort of thing doesn't happen. We're seeing it too often, both on public land. There was Clifton, there was an attempt in Pleasant Hill in Lower Idasville area. In, I believe, is it Albion in St. Thomas, homes that were also demolished. I'm here at Coopers Pen. So both on the public and private sector side, where you're going to be demolishing homes of people, whether vulnerable, children, elderly, women, etc. It cannot just be that the law takes its course in a totally unregulated way without taking into account and balancing the needs, the rights, constitutional and otherwise, of the citizens who are impacted. I believe there needs to be an inquiry into this process of how land rights are enforced in this country against residents who have been long-standing on property. As we know, private property in Jamaica, there's a 12-year limitation period, where if you're an adult possession for over 12 years, you defeat the title of the prior owner. But we have instances where people may have been living for much longer than that on property and are still not having their rights protected because they are not in a position to do so themselves. These are persons who lack means to utilize the legal system because they don't have the means to do so. So there needs to be a proper inquiry into this with a view to coming up with a policy that balances the rights of our citizens, protects private property rights, but also protects the rights of the people who are vulnerable and whose state is there to protect. So those are the 3 points I want to make this morning. And I will hand over to my colleague. Isaac Buchanan is here from a human rights perspective. Lothan Cousins is here from Land and Work. And of course, we have the Member of Parliament in waiting, Dennis Meadows. Go ahead.
I'll just speak on the human rights aspect. Right, and notwithstanding that there is private rights, there is a process and procedure is always maintained. That is guaranteed by our Charter of Fundamental Rights. It simply means that when issues of rights and privacy is breached, the security forces participation by the false imprisonment and wrongful detention, these are matters that we must before the court, so that this is not an exercise that can be repeated, that it is lawless. Any conduct from the state that is not demonstrably justified in a pure democratic society means that it breaches the Constitution, and we must respect the Constitution in such a way that I am of the view that restoration or a replacement, reunification exercise by the government is something that must be considered and must be done swiftly. We must understand that many of us are still suffering from the military experience. To come and see pharmaceutical tent during hurricane season is unacceptable, and I don't want that to be lost. This is not just about property rights, they are human rights, and every Jamaican
Where do we do? This side I'm so blocked. Thank you.
6 sides, good.
piggyback on what the leader said earlier. Right. Going here now.
In 2016, there was an incident at 85 and 85 and a half Reddingsville, similar to this. The government invoked Section 4 of the Local Communities Amenities Improvement Act that protected the residents in Reddingsville. That